Hey guys, welcome to the channel, and this is part 7 of the injection molding machine. And the last part was the building of this plate with the springs, and then the chamber goes through here. Just a little bit of a recap over there. Now the issue is that as the piston is pulled out of the chamber here, it's going to cause a suction, and it's going to basically pull this chamber away from the bottom plate like that as it does it. So I need a way of actually keeping this plate connected to the chamber, and I mean, I could have a little clamp around the bottom here. The problem with that is when these heat bands go on here, they go all the way up against here, so two there, two at the bottom, and there's no real space to actually do that. So what I've come up with, let's look at the design quick, or before we go to the design. It's going to use this piece of stainless steel, which I've actually got. Probably would have been better using it out of aluminium, but I've got this, and I'm going to use this over here. So let's have a look at the design. Okay, this is the actual design. So there's the stainless steel round solid bar that I've got over there, and that's going to have to be machined. So the inner diameter over there is going to be machined to fit over the existing chamber, the outer inlet part, and then there's going to be this little lip over there that's going to rest on the top of the chamber, pushing it down, and then the top part over there will just be, obviously the diameter will be big enough to do this, to allow stuff through and to hold the top part of the chamber. So looking at the top part of the chamber, I'm going to create a bit of a chamfer there to allow obviously the pellets to go in, and then these two side holes are going to be either drilled right through, or I'm just going to drill it sort of from the bottom and allow threading, but I'm not 100% sure what I'm going to do there yet. Okay, so in my normal fashion, I've basically made this over here, which is the 3D print of what I'm going to do, which is going to go like that. It's going to fit on there like that. As you can see, it's quite a tight fit, and that's going to push down against the plate, and it's going to be secured onto the plate. And as I mentioned, I'm not sure if it's going to be actually bolted down from the top or bolted down from the bottom. I think there's going to be enough space to allow for the heating chamber bands to go over here and still a bolt, but I'll determine that right at the end. So stick around to the end of the video to see if I'm going to bolt it down from the top or the bottom. But for now, let's head over to the lathe, and I'm going to start obviously just facing this off, and I'll move, basically turn it down to size, turn it round, and then face the other side off. Okay, so I've mounted the piece into the lathe here, and I'm going to just face off the front first, and then I will start doing the sides, turn it around, do the other side facing off, and then bring it in. Okay, I'm going to start turning down the outer diameter now. Okay, that looks good. Turn around, do the other side. Center drill to start the boring operation. Okay, I'm going to drill straight through it to allow for the boring bits to go in, or boring bar. Okay, so I'm about halfway through this, but I'm gonna let it cool down a bit. I don't want this piece to become work hardened and then damage the drill bit. So I'm just gonna let this cool down a bit, then continue the drilling. Okay, the workpiece has cooled down a bit, so continue drilling. Okay, I'll now start boring the inner hole. Okay, I've now machined this inner part here. I'm going to turn it around and machine this inner part here, which is actually obviously got a bigger diameter, and this is a critical part because this, or measurement, this fits over the chamber. Okay, at the end of that, that's what it looks like. I think it came out quite nicely. It took, I've only got 2 of them here, but it took 3 of these, so 6 edges had to use to basically bore out this hole over here. And I did it over 2 days. That's how long it took me to do, because I didn't want this to overheat too much to get work hardened, but I think it came out quite nicely. So then that's going to fit over the top there like that, and it does fit. It actually fits quite tightly, so once it's sort of on, it doesn't really want to come off that easily, but it's going to fit over there like that. And now the decision is, if I put this in here like this, chamber, then this part's going to go on the top there like that. Is it going to be bolted down from the top, or should it be bolted down from the bottom? And I think at the end of the day, I'm going to bolt it down through the bottom. I'm going to put two bolts there into here. I'm going to thread the top here, and that's how I'm going to hold it down. So let's do that now. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a bit of copper slip on this outer chamber here, just to allow me to get this off again. Just a little bit of it, basically like that, and then that should just slide on there like this. There we go. And then the 2 chambers fit together like that. Okay, now that these 2 are together, I'll obviously have to take them apart to drill it. But that's going to fit over there like that. And then I'm going to have the 2 bolts coming in from the bottom here. So I basically now need to work out the center piece between these 2 objects. Let's just do it like that again. I'll do it that way around. Then I'll just take a marking pen, like so. Okay, and then I have the 2, I don't know if you can really see it, but there is a mark there and a mark there. So I'm just going to get the halfway point between there and there, and that edge over there as well. Okay, so if we look at that, So it's 21. It's going to be 21, obviously the same on that side there. So alpha 21 is 10.5. So let's go down to 10.5. Okay, we'll set that to 10.5. And I'm just going to make a mark here in the middle. Sort of there. And it won't be that easy on this side. So I'll have to guesstimate it there. Like so. And then I'm just going to get a center line here. Okay, and the center line is going to be slightly off there. There. And it's going to be, center line is going to be there. And there. Okay, now I'll just make a mark on each of these over here, and then go over to the drill and drill. Okay, now I'm just going to center punch those, and then go to the drill press or go to the milling machine. I'm going to use that, and then drill these out to accept the bolt that I'm going to be using. Okay, so let's just center punch that. Okay, now we're going to go and drill these out. Okay, to drill the holes through, I've removed the springs and just mounted it in here. I've already drilled the one hole on the one side. I'm just going to finish off this hole now quickly. Okay, I've mounted the hold down cap here and I've got it fastened down there. I'm going to use a center drill just to make sure the hole starts off correctly. Okay, so on the tapping. Okay, after drilling the holes and tapping them, I've now put the chamber in the hold down cap over here. So that's in place. The two holes are tapped, drilled and tapped. And that's basically how it looks at the top there. There's a bit of a ramp there. I could have sloped that a bit more, but I think it's going to work the way it is. I can also twist this in here, although it's going to be pretty difficult to take apart at the moment. I'll probably have to heat this top part up and then put it out. At the end of that, this is going to go into this plate like so. So we'll just line those little brass things up. Then let's get the holes in line here, and then these two bolts will just go in here and hold this down. I'm going to screw it all the way in. Just going to get it in so it just stays there a little bit. And then I've basically taken the chamber slightly to the side. So if you look at it like that, or not the chamber, these two temperature probe positions. So in other words, the wiring will just come out to the side over here and then go onto the frame. So that's it for this video. In the next video I'll be putting the frame together that holds all this together, and we'll take it from there. I think in the next video you'll see it all coming together quite nicely, and we can see what the end goal is. So I'll see you in the next video, guys, and thanks for watching.